Hello, you're on my bed. It's a bit messy, but I'm awake, so hello. I've talked about the His Dark Materials trilogy before, but with the Book of Dust coming, I thought I would go further into it and just do a completely spoilerific review. So, yay! And by the way, pretend the film didn't happen. The Golden Compass was a load of shit, and we pretend it didn't happen. Anyway, the opening sentence, the opening paragraphs of Northern Lights by Philip Pullman just got me. I remember when I first read it, and the words, Lyra and her demon move through the darkening hall, taking care to keep to one side, out of sight of the kitchen. That got me. These are books I've revisited many times, and just the end, the whole story, it starts as this really interesting adventure, and then it twists and it turns, and you end up with these very disturbing characters. I mean, what happens to Roger is horrendous, and the machine that splits people from their demons, and if you want to know what demon is in this world, it's the manifestation of your soul. And the book also talks about dust, which happens to be dark matter. It's a rip-roaring adventure in the very classic form, and Lyra is a character I feel very connected to, in the sense that I've read her books so many times. The end of the book, yes, there are spoilers. The journey that she goes on, the battle, when she meets Yorick, when the witches, the science of the demons, the world building of her world is amazing. But then at the very, very last line of the books, so Lyra and her demon turn away from the world they were born in, looked towards the sky, looked towards the sun and walked into the sky. And I remember reading that and just being completely floored. It still keeps me on edge, and I want to say these books have gorgeous little wood cuttings throughout. The Subtle Knife picks up not long after, but it picks up in our world with the character Will and his mentally ill mother, who you realise isn't so crazy. He ends up in the same world, Cittàgazze, which I've said wrong for many years, that Lyra walked into at the end of Northern Lights. He follows a cat into a portal, and off they go. He becomes that she's the bearer of the alethiometer, and he's the bearer of the subtle knife. And their journey is so different. He takes the lead predominantly in here, but his connection to Lyra is just stunning. I remember not quite sure when I first read this. I remember thinking briefly that his mother was Lyra and she'd gone mad because she'd been separated from her demon, very briefly, and then it made sense. That's going back when I was a child, I would like to mention. I'm old enough to remember when these first come out. I love the way they journey through our world and her shock of our world and how different it is to hers, and things that she's shocked at, that girls wear jeans. That's a shock, that they have cinema. The Subtle Knife went from the Subtle Knife, the Amber Spyglass, the final book. Will is the bearer of the knife. Now accompanied by angels, his task is to deliver a powerful and dangerous weapon to Lord Asriel, by the command of his dying father. And I'm like, Jesus. This is the longest book. You meet some amazing characters, and I won't give too much away, because I count these as one book. Read these as one book, please, because that's how they should be read. The journey they go on and the bit in the world of the dead is gut-wrenching, and when they're separate from their demons, and the implication that Lyra is a witch, and when Will discovers his demon, which happens to be a cat, and it's just... oh, it's gut-wrenching. There are moments where I remember reading this and just being like, God. the very end of this book, the epic battle, Lord Asriel and Mrs. Coulter sacrificing themselves to save their daughter, to save the worlds, by essentially killing God. Implied. I don't know. The end of this is just unfair. It's a brilliant ending. That's not why I say it's unfair. It's just an unfair ending. Will and Lyra can never truly be together. They fall in love. Obviously, it's young love, it's puppy love, it's innocent love. And they can never be together. And that's heartbreaking. If you are watching this in America, please don't read the American editions of these books. Please read the European or Australian, because the American editions are censored. Just to give you guys a heads up, there is some differences. This is Once Upon a Time in the North, which is a prequel to the series. Comes with a little board game. This focuses on Yorick and several other characters, and it's lovely. It's a nice little standalone fairy tale within that world. And this kind of picks up not long after. And this has some great like old school advertising in it, so if you can get these. There's meant to be a little green book about Will, but I don't know if that will happen or not. And finally, do look into the Book of Dust. It's coming soon. We've been waiting a long time for this. So, yeah. Just remember, pick up these books, get lost in their world, and just go for it. I think you will love it. They are my favourite series. Anyway, all my links are in the doobly-doo, and tell me what you think if you've read them or going to read them. So, I'm Will, I'm the Baldbookgeek, and I will see you guys later.